Napoleon Bonaparte conquered most of Europe. He survived assassination attempts, battles, and exile. But in 1807, one of history's greatest military commanders was defeated by an army of rabbits. Yes, rabbits. And this isn't a joke, this actually happened. Stay with me, because this story is absolutely insane. It's July 1807. Napoleon is at the absolute peak of his power. He just signed the Treaties of Tilsit, ending years of war. He is the master of Europe. To celebrate this massive victory, he decides to host a rabbit hunt, a huge imperial event for his top military officers. Napoleon's chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier, was put in charge of organizing everything, and he wanted to impress. So he made a decision that would go down in history for all the wrong reasons. Berthier ordered his men to gather hundreds, possibly thousands of rabbits for the hunt. But here's where he made his fatal mistake. Instead of capturing wild rabbits, his men bought tame, domesticated rabbits from local farmers, rabbits that had been raised around humans their entire lives. Rabbits that associated people with one thing: food. Can you see where this is going? These weren't skittish wild animals. These were rabbits that, when they saw a large group of people, thought it was feeding time. The signal was given, the cages were opened, and then nothing went according to plan. Instead of hopping away into the forest, the rabbits turned and charged directly at the Emperor of France. This wasn't a scattered retreat. This was a coordinated assault, wave after wave of fluffy, hungry rabbits swarming toward Napoleon like a furry tidal wave. According to eyewitness accounts, the rabbits divided into two groups, flanking the imperial party from both sides. They were using military tactics against Napoleon. They climbed up the legs of the officers. They jumped into the carriages. Napoleon, the man who stared down the armies of Europe without flinching, was now frantically trying to fend off rabbits with his riding crop. Napoleon tried to retreat to his carriage, but the rabbits followed. They chased him across the field. They leaped into his carriage. The Emperor of France was now in full retreat from an army of bunnies. Finally, his carriage took off at full speed, with the Emperor inside, defeated not by cannons, but by thousands of extremely hungry rabbits expecting their breakfast. The hunt was cancelled. The celebration was ruined, and Napoleon was reportedly humiliated. So, what actually went wrong? The answer lies in animal behavior. Wild rabbits have a natural fear of humans, but domesticated rabbits, especially ones raised on farms, have been conditioned to approach humans for food. When those cage doors opened and the rabbits saw a large group of humans, their domesticated instincts kicked in. To them, this wasn't a hunting party. This was feeding time on a massive scale. They expected food, and they were determined to get it. And anyone who's owned a pet rabbit knows they're not always timid creatures. They have determination and surprising strength. Now, you might think this is just a funny story, but it actually matters historically. First, it reveals the danger of incompetence in seemingly simple tasks. Berthier's one mistake turned a celebration into a catastrophe. Second, it humanizes Napoleon. We see him as genuinely vulnerable, genuinely embarrassed. It shows us a man running from rabbits. Third, this incident became propaganda. Napoleon's enemies loved this story. They spread it far and wide, using humor as a weapon against his reputation. In an era before memes, this was the meme. So what happened after the Great Rabbit Rout of 1807? Berthier was reportedly mortified. There's no record of Napoleon punishing him, probably because everyone involved wanted to forget it happened. Napoleon continued his conquests, but among historians, this rabbit incident is always mentioned with disbelief and amusement. The story was documented by several people present that day, which is how we know it really happened. It wasn't just a rumor. Multiple independent sources confirm the basic facts. What can we learn from this? 1. Attention to detail matters. 2. Nature is unpredictable. 3. Humility is important. No one is invincible. Everyone has their rabbit moment. And 4. History is stranger than fiction. This story has endured for over 200 years because it's perfect. It makes history feel alive, real, and wonderfully absurd. It reminds us that the people in textbooks were real humans who dealt with chaos and embarrassment, just like us. And maybe, just maybe, it teaches us not to underestimate rabbits. So there you have. It's a true story of how Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of France, was defeated by an army of hungry rabbits in 1807. If you enjoyed this bizarre piece of history, hit that like button and subscribe for more. Drop a comment below telling me, what's the strangest historical fact you know? Thanks for watching, and remember, never underestimate your opponent, no matter how small and fluffy they might be. Napoleon learned that lesson the hard way. See you in the next one.